Tonight at home against Oakland. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is dedicated to empowering our communities by providing progressive talk radio for our audience. We strive to be an intersectional voice for the voiceless. As a Black-owned and operated station, we are committed to highlighting diverse perspectives and creating safe spaces for meaningful dialogue. We believe that everyone has something unique to bring to these political, economic, social, and cultural conversations, and we don't shy away from the hard conversations about current events. We endeavor to be a beacon of hope and understanding, while boldly challenging listeners to think more deeply about difficult topics that impact us all. With this in mind, our mission statement at KBLA Talk 1580 is simple: to create an inclusive platform that promotes civil discourse through honest dialogue and encourages personal growth among our listeners, so they can become the active agents of change. Our vision is to establish ourselves as the premier radio network with relevant programming across the beloved community, connecting people through shared experiences and collective power for lasting impact beyond these challenging times.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your beer.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
21, oh, life has just begun. Got a temper like a gun, pointing it at everyone. That's his game, and it helps him to get through the day. But a voice inside him says, how much longer can I play? He's got infinite possibilities, I can see them now. It's the unbroken chains of his past by which he's bound. He's got infinite possibilities, I can feel them now. If you shoot it well, then nothing can tear him down. Peace of mind.
It's time to set our intentions, set our self-care, and find our focus. This is Mindful Mondays with Sahara Ali on KBLA Talk 1580.
She is a yoga instructor, a meditation teacher, a life coach. She is an astrologer, a numerologist, and also a friend. Sahara Ali with Mindful Mondays. Welcome.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning, KBLA family. Welcome to Mindful Monday, where we get our minds right for the week by setting positive intentions to honor our mind and body through meditation, prayer, and affirmation as we step unapologetically into our week, being on purpose with our power, wisdom, truth, and faith. And we are definitely in a time of infinite possibility. We are being blessed this week with the celestial gift of a super blue full moon, highlighting the rare occasion of 2 full moons in 1 month. Tuesday, 11:32 a.m., August 1st, and August 30th, enhanced by the moon being close to the earth, which is why it's called a supermoon. And this supermoon is in the maverick sign of Aquarius, giving us an opportunity to bring our dreams to fruition, opening the doors for second chances, breaking bad habits, and reframing our expectations. The celestial gifts of this Aquarius full supermoon highlights celebrating the fruit of our labor, releasing worn-out beliefs, setting new intentions, aiding spiritual growth, and change through faith, meditation, and prayer. The call to action is to take a journey into the world behind your eyes, softening your heart, softening your mind, releasing ego to hear our soul's wisdom, unapologetically embracing our innate truth, releasing what no longer serves our highest good. So going forward, let's lean into our mindful Monday meditation. Take a breath. Take a breath, anchoring your feet to the floor, connecting to the earth, connecting to the roots of your purpose, aligning with your soul's task. Breathe. Be here now, in this moment, in this time and space, open to wisdom from the Most High. Exhale, relax. Quieting yourself, opening yourself. Relax and release. Inhale, calling on the power of divine wholeness, your divine wholeness, opening to your heart and mind to embrace truth. Exhale, mindfully connect to your center, to your light. Relax, let go. Inhale, breathe, be here and now, calming your mind, calming your body. Now slowly exhale, relax, listen. Listen, being on purpose in this moment, and breathe. Feel your heartbeat. Listen to your breath, connecting to truth, leaning into your divine self. Release, relax, let go. Inhale. Exhale. Listen for clarity with every breath. Inhale, breathe in love. Exhale, calling on your angels and ancestors as you surrender the past, surrender fear and stagnation, open to fulfillment. Inhale, ready to embrace divine guidance. Hold that breath, thinking of embracing divine guidance. Now exhale, attracting miracles to unfold in your life. Feel your energy open to attracting miracles. Inhale, seeing your dreams of happiness, dreams of abundance. Exhale, bold and ready to live your best life, honoring self-love with grace. Now inhale, promising yourself to be unapologetic, trusting your power with love, being on purpose. Promising yourself with love, be on purpose, embracing your power. Now slowly exhale, relax, release, and listen with an open heart. Listen with an open mind. Feeling the power of love and clarity. Just breathe and relax. Surrender. Surrender to this time and space, believing all things are possible and in your favor. Now inhale, quieting your mind to receive our Mindful Monday affirmation. Exhale and just listen. Today I give myself permission to be on purpose, open to divine guidance, living the manifestation of my highest good with grace and ease. Listen, breathe, relax. Today I give myself permission to be on purpose, open to divine guidance, living the manifestation of my highest good with grace and ease. Relax and breathe. Bring that in. And now bring your awareness back to present time, giving yourself permission to be on purpose and open to receive divine guidance. Knowing that this supermoon gives you an opportunity to reframe, to reinvest in yourself, and to pick up your power and to know your truth. Thank you, Dominique. Tavis Smiley, Miles, and the 1580 KBLA family have an unapologetic, mindfully blessed full supermoon in Aquarius week.
The one question I'll ask you, we were talking, me and Rob Battles, about this heat and how tempers flare. You know, it's so hot and people are dehydrated and stressed. And now you're talking about a blue moon. It's an actual blue moon, which means 2 full moons in the same month. And we already know that sometimes people's inner werewolf comes out to play when we got a full moon. Then it's a super moon, which means it's close to the earth. And then it's Aquarius, which I won't comment on because I don't know too much about Aquarius. I mean, do we need to watch our tongues and watch our backs right now? Or, I mean, how do you see that playing out in the middle of this very, very hot summer? You know, we've got a hot labor summer. We've got, you know, regular hot summer. What do you think?
What I know is that this is a time to go inward. This is a time to harvest your light, your power, your energy. Why it's so erratic is Venus is retrograde, so there is no love. There is no love for anybody else. It's about love for self. And so we're so used to looking outside of ourselves and blaming other people for what's not. It's time for us to pick up our power and look at ourselves. And so the other thing is there's 4 planets retrograde. So, you know, retrograde is stop, drop, roll, rethink, get yourself together. You know, so nobody's in their right mind. You know, and then this super Aquarius moon, and you know how I feel about Aquarius. They're mavericks. They're a fixed sign. They're unusual. It's eccentric, so there's expansion. It's ruled by Uranus, and it's square Uranus and Taurus. So we have no other recourse but to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves.
Yeah, that was giving me some urban psychic vibes. Sorry, Ali, you better check ourselves before you wreck ourselves. Meditation, Om. Yeah, no, that makes sense. But I feel like all these planets have been in retrograde for such a long time. Like, when do we get relief?
Well, this is not unusual for this time. It is very necessary because it's harvest season also. It's time to reframe the fruit of our labor because we're going into the equinox. And so it's about to create equal. So right now you're reaping what you put out there. So if it's not going well, you better check yourself because it's time to look at who are you? Where are you?
I started laughing because that just made me think about Trump. Speaking of reaping what we sow, it's a Reap What We Sow festival for the 45th president. Well, Sahara Ali, thanks for clearing that up. I'll be home meditating if y'all are looking for me.
Just a little bit before you walk out of the house, just say a prayer like, okay, light, I'll call in the light. Okay, Most High, protect me, keep me safe, and let the crazies be crazy, but don't let them touch me.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, what you're saying is more my philosophy. This part of this section of my life is when stuff goes wrong, the first thing I've started to ask is, what did I do? What is my part in this? Instead of pointing the finger and blaming other people, I've really started getting better at the art of what did I fail to do, or what is the lesson for me right now in this. So it sounds like we're amping up that message even more. Look, if you want to talk to Sahara Ali about your own situationship, or get tuned in with some yoga, a sound bath. Oh, her sound baths are amazing. You can go. You can call her assistant. 213-628-9783, 213-628-9783, or go to saharaali.com. It's SAHARAHALI.com. Sahara, thank you so much. Appreciate you as always.
Can I say this? Don't blame yourself. Look at the gift. Just say, what is my gift in this situation? And say, God, show me my truth. Don't blame yourself because it's always a gift. it's always an opportunity to reframe and to grow.
I can't blame myself for the gift. Just receive the gift to keep it pushing.
Right.
Got
What's
it.
my let's this, talk to the hand. Let's go.
Sahara Ali, as usual, it's been great talking with you. Very uplifting, enlightening, and inspiring. And we need that because it is a Black Marriage Monday. We're doing that in the final hour of the show right now, though. Let's talk national politics. Let's take a look at all of these folks reaping what they sow on the national landscape. I'm Dominique DePrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
To my hometown, my community. Some of you have known me my whole life. Do you notice anything different about the kids in the neighborhood? Ever paid attention? We might start with gifts, money, attention. These are signs. Child trafficking is happening right here in this town. So don't just watch through the window. Pay attention. Because the more we know, the more we'll all know to say no. Learn the signs to look for and how to help at no-to-say-no.com.
On a Mission Youth Travel presents the 2023 Morehouse Homecoming HBCU College Tour, October 25th through October 29th in Atlanta, Georgia. Open to high school students grades 9 through 12. For more information, please call 323-298-4779. Again, 323-298-4779. Students will tour Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark Atlanta University, Alabama State, and Tuskegee University. Email info@onamissionyouthtravel.com. Again, info@onamissionyouthtravel.com. The HBCU tour price includes all meals, transportation, round-trip airfare with one checked bag, hotel accommodations, all museums, college tours, and admission to the Morehouse versus Kentucky State University homecoming football game. Spaces are filling up quickly, so call today to sign up. 323-298-4779. Again, 323-298-4779.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DePrima on First Things First.
Yep, it does continue. And I just feel like what Sahara Ali was talking about on the Mindful Mondays about reaping what we sow and checking ourselves before we wreck ourselves spiritually, emotionally, politically. It's true. It resonates. I think about what's going on with the 45th president. He seems to be very unhinged, but apparently it is quite effective. He is crushing, as the New York Times says, Ron DeSantis and all of his rivals in the latest Siena poll. He's been indicted twice. He's facing at least two upcoming criminal trials, a civil case, and I say at least two because we're expecting another indictment to come down as soon as today around the Georgia election meddling, and then the January 6th situation is still hovering. But in this latest poll, Trump is at 54%, which means, that means if this poll is accurate, which we never know, And if the election was tomorrow, Donald J. Trump will be the Republican nominee. And there is a very good chance that he could win again. That makes my head explode. I just never thought that. I felt like Republicans were waking up and smelling the coffee. I thought, even though DeSatan is actually, I think, in some ways worse than Trump, that he would be the guy. But he's got 17%. I mean, that's just wow. Talk about the welterweight fight. His next rival is like 40 points, almost 40 points behind him. And then the former VP, Pence, 3%. Scott, 3%. Haley, 3%. Ramaswamy, 2%. Chris Christie, 2%. And everyone else is not listed because that means they made less than 1%. Larry Elder. They're polling at less than 1%. So what does this mean? It means that the 45th president is likely to be the 47th president, if we don't get really serious. I mean, he is crushing the field, and I just don't see someone breaking out. Now, I see with this dust up around Ron DeSantis's tweaks, shall we call them tweaks, to the teaching of black history in the state of Florida, where among the other ridiculous things they want to teach is the fact that, slavery was, a good thing, had a blessing in it for black people because they got important job skills. Well, they're starting to see a revolt on the part of black Republicans who, that, believe it or not, they went too far. I mean, that shows you how far over there we are in the Republican side. The fact that these black Republicans are mad now and they're pushing back. This can be an opening for Tim Scott. Maybe he can take the ball and run with it. He certainly has a lot of money behind him. But right now, it's all he who shall not be named, despite his legal problems. So over the weekend, the former president called for all of the other Republicans to step down and focus all their money on helping him win re-election and helping him stay out of jail. And if you think about, you could think, well, anyone probably wishes that. We all wish we could just win, We wish we could just win without a competition. Well, maybe not. Some people really like the competition. I don't know that Terrence Crawford would have just been like, hey, can you just give me the W and we'll skip the fight? I doubt that. But for someone like Trump, who has had so many things handed to him, who was on $250,000 a year salary by the time he was 2. I'm not making that up. You can look it up. His dad, Fred Trump, put him on the payroll at $250K when he was 2. Now think about this. The guy's 70, so that was even more money than it is now back then. Anyway, he has called on his rivals to stand down. But although we can all kind of see, okay, yeah, stand down. Whoa, it's all about me. That's very anti-democratic. You're saying you don't want a primary. You just want to be crowned the emperor of the Republican Party and everybody give their money to you. It's even more remarkable when you realize that the money that people are donating to Trump right now is mostly going to defend him. All of his legal bills. It's not even going really to elect him president. It's mostly going to defend him. And that's a slippery slope. I understand that it's legal, but it's problematic. And I wonder how that's going to play out. Apparently his voters don't care. They don't care at all. And by donating to the campaign, we mean donate to the Legal Defense Fund. That's crazy. But that's where we are right now. The Save America PAC, Political Action Committee, they're fundraising groups that support a candidate, but they're not supposed to coordinate with the candidate. They're supposed to be independent of. In fact, it's highly illegal for them to coordinate because they don't have the same kind of donation caps that contributions to individual candidates have. Well, now the Save America PAC, which is Trump's main means of making money, is asking for a refund of $60 million that it had given to another political action committee. And that's because Trump has been using the Save America PAC to pay for its legal bills, which means it's running out of money. The man has spent $40 million defending himself just in 2023. $40 million. And the trials haven't even started yet. Well, I guess the E. Jean Carroll one did, but that was a civil suit. But I mean, he's spent $40 million through July 31st of 2023. And he's got trials on the calendar in 2024 and more to come. So they have to get their money back so he can pay his legal bills. He paid $16 million for legal bills in 2021 and 2022. In 2023, it's jumped to $40 million. So that's another part of this story. People are saying, oh, well, he's using his legal troubles to make him a martyr. He's leading in the polls. This is all very great for him. He can be president even from jail. But I'm sure $40 million going out the door in half a year is not a good look, even if you are a billionaire, which, we don't know for sure that this man still is. And it's going to get worse, right? If your campaign drain is your legal bills, no wonder you're calling for everyone else to step down and hand their money over to you. But that's not how the process works. You have to win through a primary, even if you're leading by a lot. He's calling for every single member of Congress who doesn't support him and defend him from his legal troubles to be primaried. He's calling for all of his Republican rivals to drop out and put all of their energy and money towards him. He's trying to act like a dictator, like a strong man, like an authoritarian, even before he's elected. Who are these people that think that's a good choice for our next president? You got thoughts on this? I'd love to hear them. 800-920-1580. Right now, it's news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former President Trump's Political Action Committee has spent more than $40 million on legal costs since the start of the year. Multiple reports indicate the number is more than double the amount Save America spent on legal fees in all of 2022. Most of the money used to defend the former president, his advisors, and others comes from small dollar donations from Trump's supporters. In Washington, D.C., the National Museum of African American History and Culture will host the annual hip-hop block party on August 12th. The event celebrates the 50th birthday of the genre and highlights its innovation and progression. 11 artists, DJs, and performers will take to the stage during the Saturday event. Moni Love, the first British artist of style to go worldwide, is one of the headliners. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
When your ride fires on all cylinders, so do you. That's why Napa is on a mission to keep you in motion. With nearly 6,000 Napa Auto Parts stores and over 17,000 Napa Auto Care centers, the Napa Network has everything you need to get up and go.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
As the NFL heads into its second week of training camp, the league's diversity numbers have made slight improvement. There are still only 3 black head coaches among the NFL's 32 teams, but the league has reached a milestone with 5 black team presidents and 6 black general managers. Both numbers are season highs for the NFL. Baltimore, Las Vegas, Denver, Chicago, and Washington will enter the 2023 season with a black team president. In Las Vegas, Sandra Douglas Morgan is the first black woman to run a team. Teams with a black general manager include Cleveland, Tennessee, Atlanta, Detroit, and Washington. The Dodgers were shut out yesterday by the Cincinnati Reds. The Dodgers are 2-5 in their last 7 games. The Dodgers begin a 3-game series tonight at home against Oakland. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Can you believe it's already back to school season? To get you ready, Chase is holding a family event at its Crenshaw Community Center branch on Wednesday, August 2nd from 4 to 8 p.m. We're giving away backpacks full of school supplies and other goodies to the first 1,000 attendees. There will be activities for the whole family, from financial health workshops to lawn games and crafts for all ages. Chase, we make your back-to-school dreams happen. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
In our community, mental health struggles can sometimes go unnoticed. The suicide rate among Black youth has risen faster than any other ethnic group. Only 1 in 3 African Americans who need mental health care receives it. African American women are only half as likely as their Caucasian counterparts to seek professional mental health services. Even those who guide us spiritually can sometimes face their own challenges. 45% of pastors say they've experienced depression or burnout to the extent they need to take a leave of absence from ministry. As people of faith, it's time to acknowledge it's okay not to be okay. You can pray and get help. Visit normalizehelp.org for more information and resources. Join us in raising mental health awareness in our community. Funded by the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health and the Champion Counseling Center of Faithful Central Bible Church.
I'm James Alexander, a proud member of AARP. 1967, I was 17. That spring, my friends, the Barcades, and I made Soulfinger. It was a hit. Number 3 on the charts. That summer, we became the great Otis Redding's band. First gig, the famed Apollo. That fall, we toured. That winter found me in a morgue identifying the bodies of my bandmates and Otis Redding. My music and their memories bring me joy. The Barcades forever.
What would you call a joy that is as solemn as it is sweet and knows no bounds? A joy that's beautifully rooted in soul and resilience. This is Black joy, a joy that reflects pride and honor despite every challenge. AARP believes the power of Black joy is limitless, and we celebrate this joy supreme. Join us in celebrating Black joy at aarp.org/blackcommunity.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
You are, and I am encouraging you to call me if you got something to say. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DePrima, and this is Black Marriage Monday, so we'll be focusing on your relationship and mine with Aize and Ayana Ma'at next hour. Right now, looking at what's going on the national scene. And, you know, conservatives have turned the death of Tafari Campbell into another conspiracy theory. But I feel like if we don't talk about it, that is also, you know, fueling such as that. And it is a really sad situation, and there are a lot of unanswered questions. I mean, he was a young man, 45, relatively young, right? Not a kid, but he was reportedly paddleboarding not too far from the Obama estate in Martha's Vineyard, and he, according to a witness, fell off the board, was not attached to the board, and drowned. And this was about a week ago. And, of course, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama put out a statement. They said he was a beloved part of their family. When we first met him, he was a talented sous chef at the White House. And they said, in the years that followed, we got to know him as a fun, warm, extraordinarily kind person who made all of our lives a little better. That's why when we were getting ready to leave the White House, we asked Tafari to stay with us, and he generously agreed. He's been part of our lives ever since. Our hearts are broken that he's gone. And, of course, this has turned into, if you look on Twitter, and this is interesting because Rob and I were having a conversation during one of the news and traffic breaks earlier, which is that when you look on X, a.k.a. Twitter, Twitter X, you have to be careful because there's all these things that you can see. If you don't verify the source, you can go down a rabbit hole or, not understand where something's coming from. But in this case, there's just not a lot of information out. They found his body using sonar from a boat 100 feet from the shore. He wasn't wearing a life jacket, wasn't chained to his, connected to his board. And they said there was another paddleboarder who tried to save him but failed and then called 911. The conservatives make a big deal that there's apparently no police log for that. And I hope that the Obama family and Democrats will continue to speak out on this and really, answer people's questions about it that are being posed by the right, because otherwise you take a situation that is very tragic and, people rightfully ask questions, and then it can turn into a Pizzagate scenario where folks are completely disconnected from reality. The fact is, a guy is dead, and now his wife and their twin boys do not have a dad. And it's really, really sad. And there hasn't been a lot of reporting on it. And that's not right. The Obamas, according to Associated Press, were not home when this happened. And Tafari was still working for them. He was still under the employ of the Obamas. I think we rest in peace to him, and I definitely, will be paying attention to, what we learn about what happened. How, if, it was a tragic accident. Now what happens? What happens with his family? If there's more to the story, then, we want to know that too. What I hate is the QAnon spin on it. They take the ball and run with it. They add all this stuff. And when you don't address it, then that becomes worse and worse. And, it is, what they're saying, they add all the stuff that isn't true. But the true thing is, it seems like, there are some unanswered questions. Why isn't there a police log? Why was he paddleboarding at night? And what happened? So hopefully we'll hear, because they say that investigation is still ongoing in that case. Suicide bombing in Pakistan over the weekend. At least 54 people dead there, and the government is saying they're going to hunt down whoever's behind that. 200 people wounded. We don't know. No one's taking responsibility, which is, weird. Usually the terrorist organizations of the world like to brag about that stuff got a coup going on in Niger, speaking of Africa. And this is all bad. The military has taken over from the democratically elected government. Of course, here it's just like when I hear policing stories, you always want to look beyond the official story. I know that the democratically elected government there was a big ally of Washington. And they say an ally with Washington in fighting terrorism in that area, in that region. Russia's apparently upset about the president being ousted there as well. One reason for that is because the Wagner Group, remember them? They were supposed to be overthrowing Putin, like, 2 weeks ago? They're out here celebrating the overthrowing of that democratically elected government in Niger. Okay, get on the bat phone and call Dr. Gerald Horn. I think I need more context here. The thing is, Russia's upset about it and the U.S. is upset about it, and that's what makes it even more confusing. But in general, you got to fall on the side of the democratically elected government. General Abdurrahmani Tiani is the new head of state. Mohammed Bazoum was the president. But it's the seventh military takeover on the west coast of Africa in the past few years. And one ray of light for me in this is that we've seen the African Union and the Organization of West African States step up where Africans solve African problems, and they impose sanctions or they find leverage to stop these situations. We saw it in the Gambia a few years ago. It seems like that may have played a role in Senegal with the president there backing off of his plan to hold on to power illegally. A la Donald Trump, lest we start thinking we're better than somebody. But the fact that this Wagner Group and this Yevgeny Prigozhin offered his services on a taped phone call to this military junta that is now taken over is a problem. That Wagner Group has been hired by various players. I'm going to call them players. Some governments, some so-called opposition forces in Africa. And this mercenary army just running loose, mercenary army of, let's face it, white people running loose in Africa is a big problem, right? With massive advanced weaponry. What role is that playing here? Keeping our eyes on Niger and praying that they can get things back in balance, because while there have been several coups in West and in Central Africa, there have also been several unexpected resolutions where coalitions of African nations stepped in to solve their own problems. Let us hope that this can be one of those. 800-920-1580. Not too late to call me. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Carson, you bet!
Hey, I am Jasmine Carson, LSU Women's Basketball National Champion. I had to up my game, and this time I upped my intimate grooming routine too. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area. Featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and a skincare regimen that is dermatologist tested, Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about the full regimen of products.
The Youth Forward organization calls for a cannabis candy ban for products they say target children. I'm Aisha Cairo with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by CaliforniaBlackMedia.org. Mid-July, a coalition of groups committed to raising awareness about cannabis products that look like candy called on Governor Newsom to enact a cannabis candy ban. Youth Forward, an organization working to shape cannabis policy, is leading the charge with a petition to direct tax revenues from marijuana into youth and community reinvestment programs. The Cannabis Candy Child Safety Act, Assembly Bill 1207, passed the Assembly with a 61-0 vote in May. The bill aims to prevent children from consuming cannabis products by regulating packaging and advertising. It is currently under review in the Senate Appropriations Committee. KBLA listeners, what are your thoughts on this one? Let us know on our social platforms on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at KBLA 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
What does access mean?
Access means owning a home. Access means growing my business.
Access means building generational wealth. No matter your goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Programs and initiatives provide the tools and resources to help you reach them. Access your financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Right, so back to our own sort of individual coup, or slow-moving coup, if you will. And I'm not talking about January 6th. You've heard me repeatedly say that was an attempted coup on the U.S. But I'm talking about that extreme court and the extreme measures that are being taken by states in shutting down our voting rights and shutting down a woman's right to choose, in attacking LGBTQ plus people's rights, and banning books. A judge in Arkansas had to block a law that is meant to criminally charge librarians over materials they designate as harmful. And this is something it's in place in Arkansas, but there's a bunch of other conservative states that are trying to do the same thing. Now, the judge temporarily blocked Arkansas from enforcing that law, but we'll see what's going to happen moving forward. That happened on Saturday. This is a law that would punish not just librarians, but also bookstores if they sell or display materials that are deemed to be problematic anywhere that kids have access to, right? So pretty much anywhere in the store. This is something that was signed by Republican Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's one to watch. If we're starting a fascism watch, she should be right there at the top of the list. This is a lady who was celebrating and bragging about how many people she's kicked off Medicaid, as literally millions of Americans are losing their health care coverage because the pandemic, the easing of the rules under the pandemic for staying on Medicaid have ended, right? She's bragging about this. So luckily, some folks, the library system and others, challenged the law, saying fear of prosecution could prompt libraries and booksellers to stop even carrying these titles, which amounts to an assault on free speech. So the judge rejected the motion seeking to dismiss that case and blocked it for a time. The ACLU is representing the plaintiffs here and saying that their First Amendment rights were being violated. And I think they rightfully asked the question, do the people of Arkansas still have access to reading materials? Because if not, that's a clear violation of the First Amendment. But it's just like what we see with women's choice, the anti-choice movement, state by state by state, taking away rights. The number of states that are trying to ban books or restrict access to what books you can read is the highest that it's been ever since we've been keeping track of that. The Library Association tracks book bannings, and they've been tracking it for the past 20 years, and this is the most serious it has been. That's what we're dealing with. We talk about the Taliban, but we're right there. We're right there in theocracy territory. When we fight, we win, though. We're going to keep on fighting. KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Have you heard about Lendistry? Lendistry is a national Black-led small business lender that is headquartered right here in LA. Once you've started your business, Lendistry provides flexible financing options starting at $50,000 to help you access the affordable capital needed to grow. Whether financing is needed to increase working capital, acquire a business, purchase inventory and equipment, or refinance debt, Lendistry has a solution for you. Lending products range from traditional business term loans and non-revolving lines of credit to SBA 7A loans and commercial real estate financing. Lendistry's pre-application process is simple and does not impact your credit score. Visit lendistry.com/KBLA to learn more and to get started with an application right from the website.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, so Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis has indicated she's ready to go. The work is done. That means that as soon as tomorrow, the first day of August, we could see charges against not just Trump, but a bunch of Republicans, conservatives. I mean, I guess anybody, but most of the targets would be conservatives who were part of denying the results of the 2020 election, right? As a consequence, this investigation has been going on for 2.5 years. I'm sure she's crossed her T's and dot her I's because she has been subject to personal attacks almost constantly by the former president, which he calls her racist, and we know how violent his supporters are. She's asked for security, increased security, not just for the downtown area, but, just for herself and her fellow workers. The area right where this, downtown area in Atlanta is right where there was a huge protest by Trump supporters after Biden was declared the winner. So this is why those barricades have gone up in the area, and they've already had their security beefed up, to be clear, because of the threats that Fani Willis has been receiving ever since she started this investigation, ever since she got the go-ahead to impanel those grand juries. There's 2 of them, and one of them meets on Monday. So we could really hear something this week. I mean, we really could. She's got threatening calls, not surprising, death threats. And now, a lot of times she rolls with armed bodyguards, and I don't blame her. She's the first black woman ever elected as a DA in Fulton County. I get tired of saying the first black this, the first black that, but sadly we're still there, right? And back in 2022, she sent a letter to the FBI saying, look, I need a risk assessment of the courthouse. Why? Because she's getting all of this, what she called alarming rhetoric, what I would call, direct attacks on her. But this goes far beyond Trump. Giuliani could be one. I mean, we could be actually looking at more than a dozen folks, high-profile folks, some of them, who could be facing charges. And one of the reasons why the former president is so vituperative about this is that he can't pardon himself from state charges. State charges are not pardonable by a U.S. president. So even if he wins again, he cannot pardon himself. Oh, we got more. We'll talk about this tomorrow. But right now it's time to pivot because it's a Black Marriage Monday, and we could all use do a little bit better in the love department, especially with Venus in retrograde. My goodness. That's next. Aize and Ayana Ma'at are on deck. KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580